What's good? God is good. I'm your host, Jay Did It. Welcome to Thursday Therapies, a podcast for all creatives, writers, rappers, poets, artists, activists, Sacramento community therapy session. Today, we have Melkez, a South Sac creative, freestyle artist, b-boy, MC, and community builder, whose roots in hip-hop were shaped through all four elements: breaking, DJing, graffiti, and MC. A world traveler through his time in the Army, he continues to use hip-hop as a tool for self-expression, healing, and discipline, and connection through projects like The Get Back, The Lost B-Boy Tapes, and Melkez 100-Day Plan. Melkez is dedicated to preserving culture, uplifting community, and inspiring others to turn their struggles into purpose and growth. Welcome to Thursday Therapies.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yes. How you doing?
I'm well. Today was a good day.
It was a good day, wasn't it?
Yesterday was a good day, too.
Yesterday was amazing.
Definitely.
Amazing. So we've been talking about getting you on here for a long time. I've been seeing you out there in the community doing your thing, and I'm just so blessed to have you in the seat on Thursday Therapies. As you know, Thursday Therapies is a podcast bringing awareness to mental health for the artists, for the creatives, for b-boys like you. I just want to ask you some questions and let the world get to know who Melkez for show is.
All right, word. So, what questions you got for me?
I got a lot of questions for you. So, what was life like growing up in South Sac? You said you grew up in South Sac.
South Sac is dope. Like, the beautiful thing about South Sac is the diversity of the city. Mm-hmm. And, like, it really shines on all over Sacramento, really, compared to the world, definitely. But I went to Valley High School. And so Valley High School, when I went there, they didn't keep these stats. Mm. But 2 years after I left, because we were already the most diverse school in Sacramento at the time, and they did this whole thing about the world goes to the Valley, right? And then 2 years later, they kept stats, or they had stats, and it showed that they were the most diverse high school in America.
Wow.
And I was like, well, if that's the case, then we must have been, when we were there before, they just didn't have the stats yet.
Right. Yeah, I never even knew that.
Yeah, so it's pretty wild, the breakdown. I mean, everything from East Indian to Asian Pacific Islanders to all of your major ethnic groups, and then the smaller ones that weren't as counted.
That's dope. I love that. So when did hip-hop become your life? When did you know that hip-hop was your life?
I mean, I say life is life, but I am hip-hop. And so wherever I go, hip-hop's with me because it's going to shine through what I do. And so I take the most def path on that, like hip hop is you. You are hip hop. If you are of the people, then you are us. And wherever we are together. But my older brothers, they were in a rap group and I heard them rapping and I was like, yo, I think I could do that too, And then I used to be like, yo, put me on, son, put me on. And they were like, nah, man, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, I had to get it my own. So
right.
I was, school, on the bench, with the boom, boom, clack, beatbox and learning how to beatbox. I didn't beatbox at the time, but my brothers did. And so I learned that too, so.
That's what's up.
So just from early on, it was part of our culture. We would see it on the TV. We try to emulate it ourselves, and we had no supervision. That was another thing. We didn't have anybody showing us what to do. Like nowadays they got YouTube. You can look up anything you want to do and see somebody doing it. We didn't have that. And so information didn't travel as quickly. But I used to get hecka mixtapes from the East Coast. And so I was exposed to a lot of different music that my homies out here weren't. But then we had all our underground music that hadn't made it out as well either. And so it was cool. It was a good time though. Yeah.
That's dope. So which element of hip hop connected with you first and why?
If I had to say, it would be dance. Yeah.
When did you start dancing?
Dancing. Shout out Mandisa and Dawn. Those two girls are the whole reason why I'm not in jail probably. Because I was that cat. So I was a younger brother. I got 4 older brothers. So they used to always beat me up. So they are 7 years older than me. So 7 years. And so that you're taking punches from someone 7 years older, and you're going to get tough, but I was never the bully. I was the bully's bully. So people would bully one of my friends and I go beat them up, but I was always fighting. So my brothers are like, man, why are you fighting all the time? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, because I felt that's what, we had to do at times. And so, but I'll never forget, Mandisa and Don, they were like, yo, we can't date you because we don't deal with thugs. I was like, what? We like guys to dance. I started learning how to dance.
Oh, how old were you?
I was in the 7th grade.
Really?
Yeah.
You started taking dance classes, or you just started teaching yourself?
we just started. Yeah, started because I could move. I was like, yo, I could groove, because gangsters don't dance, we boogie, right?
Yeah.
And then, but and I did the original breaking when I was really young, and I picked it up pretty quickly. Like I was able to do windmills and head spins, right? Really young, and we would have our cardboard with us and all that, but that kind of fizzled at that time. And then when it came back again in the 90s, that's when I was started my crew, and we were all together ever since junior high. And so my crew, Skidookie Bums, and then we put it down. And that happened.
What's up.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that story. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but really, the real talk, though, because I was like, I wanted to be the best at whatever I could be.
Right.
And if it was being a gangster, I was trying to be the best gangster, right? And Mandisa and Don, shout out to y'all. I still give y'all props to this day because they helped steer me away when other people couldn't.
That's what's up. I love that story. I love that story. So how did freestyle become a form of self-expression for you?
Well, freestyle is straight freedom. And so we used to freestyle together. Like we'd be going down the street and we played a game in the car called Point It Out. So you had to rap about those things that were going by. And so you would get good because you're traveling at 60 miles an hour, pulling things out and having to put those words together. And so I still freestyle when I'm in my car all the time. So it just is. It's a part of what I do,
All the time. All the time. It
Sometimes I'm talking to
you're
somebody
at.
and they're like, yo, Kez, that whole thing rhymed. I was like, I didn't even realize it rhymed. I was just telling you a story.
Right. I love that. I love that. That's dope. So what lessons did you learn in the Army that taught you about discipline and resilience?
Well, the Army is going to discipline you whether you're disciplined or not. And if you make it, you are resilient.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's not going to make you any more than you were before you went in.
Right.
Like people got the idea that somehow it's going to change you and make you a different person, but you are whoever you went in,
That's right.
And it's either going to amplify those good traits or your negative traits. You know what I mean? But it's already in you from the beginning. That's kind of the overall spiel. But I was blessed. I had good men over me, good leadership, and it was not a bad experience, not a bad time in my life at all.
Did you take your hip hop and your freestyle and b-boying out to the Army with you?
Yeah, I was out there. And the
was
cool
that
thing
like?
was, what's crazy is because like people wonder where I'm from now because my slang is so from everywhere, and so because I got folks from everywhere, and when I'm out, I'm like, yeah, I'm from Sacramento. They go, really? It's like, dang, I thought you was from the East.
Right.
I thought you was from the South.
Yeah.
I thought you was from whatever.
I didn't think you were from Sac when I first met you. I
Really?
was like, oh, okay. All right. Where are you from? Oh, yeah, I'm from Valley High.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, yo, I'm from out here. Yo, I put it
In
down.
the
Like
building.
everywhere I go, I rep my city first, right? And then, but when I was in Korea, I was stationed out there. I remember, cause like I was looking for hip hop.
Yeah.
Everywhere I'm looking for trying to find that connection. And I had to go into Seoul because I heard there was some B-boys in Seoul.
Oh, okay.
So I got on the train, went out there when I was on leave and got a hotel out there and just went out looking for them. Found them at this spot on Hooker Hill. That's the name of the area. It's remnants back to old times, but it was like where all the clubs were.
Yeah.
And went out there and I met some cats. And the funny thing is, I guess my buddies were training these guys. Yes, Circle of Fire Soul Shifters. Orb was out there around the same time I was. And so I guess I was battling his students.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, it was cool, though. It was cool. I didn't get that other part of that story till years later.
Really?
When I lived in Seattle. Yeah.
That's dope.
Because I went up there for school. And so that's where I went to school up. And I got with all my other brothers out there, BYC crew and all these other just good folks. 206 Zulu, King Chasm, Kitty Woo. Shout out to y'all. Love all my folks out there.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So,
That's dope.
that's my whole other
hip-hop
family
been
out
in
there.
you the whole time since day
yeah.
one.
Yeah. It's like, people, that whole idea, like, you got to stop doing what you love and then start doing whatever else, right?
Yeah.
It just is.
Yeah.
It's us. So whatever we do is what we do.
Right.
You know.
That's right.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that you have so many connections too outside of Sacramento. That's dope.
Yeah, we get in the wind sometimes.
Yeah. I'm gonna switch gears with you
Okay.
and switch to mental health and struggles.
Mm-hmm.
So when did you realize creativity could also be healing for you?
I don't know. I don't know the exact time, you know, but it's always in the pursuit of something, you know, like pursuit of the goal. And as you're in the pursuit of the goal, you're doing these things and they carry you through to the goal you were trying to get to. And so I've seen it. I mean, we deal with this every day. We've seen there's always someone that's got it harder than you got it, you know. And I was a benefit. I used to hate when I used to have to do this, but my brothers were involved in a lot of ministries. So I would do a lot of different things young. And so we went up and down California, going to juvenile halls and stuff. And I was just a kid. I was dancing in the beginning, you know. And then I was flying out with JC Crew and these other groups and doing shows in different places. And I was a kid, so I didn't know, you know what I mean? It was cool. And sometimes I'd be flying under another guy who couldn't make its name. Like one time I was mad I didn't get to go to Kansas City because they kept calling me Richard, who was B-Boy Slinky, rest in peace. He passed away recently. And I was supposed to go for him because he couldn't make it. And so, but they were at the gate, so they're not trying to call me by my name. And they were like, Richard, you know, and I kept going. And I didn't make it on the plane. But
wow.
yeah, so I mean, that was back before they ID'd you and everything like that. Like you could fly like that back in the day. But anyways, using creativity for mental health.
For healing.
I don't know. I think it comes through in the accomplishment. Like as you develop and you have your own milestones and you reach them, then you get that feeling of accomplishment.
Yeah.
And that kind of stays with you with whatever else you do. Yeah, I think that's the best way I can answer that one.
Nice. So what were some mental health struggles you faced behind the scenes? Shoot. I know you don't like to talk about it, but
yeah.
I hear every now and then a little bit comes through. And
man,
but then you reel it back in.
You know, it's funny because like growing up where I grew up, it was trauma all the time.
Right. So there are struggles.
and I would not even know it was trauma until I was speaking to somebody else about it. Because we just you get used to things.
Right.
And when you get used to things, you don't even realize that those things are affecting you later.
Right.
You know? And that part there. But
he's like, don't dig too deep.
No, it's real. I mean, a lot of stuff, but I mean, I couldn't pinpoint any one thing. It's just like you see a lot and you adjust to it and you know, but it makes you super heightened. You have heightened awareness.
Absolutely.
And so you get to the point to where people used to be like, oh, you're so chill, this and that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yo, I already read the room.
Right.
My extra sensory perception has let me know that this is a safe space.
That's right.
And I could be however I be.
Hyper vigilant, hyper aware.
But I'll see things, and a lot of times before folks see it, and I recognize it, and I go, yo, and I'll adjust towards it, you know. Mm-hmm. But then the military helps that too, because it shows you identify threats, and so it's a part of that, you know.
Okay, so you're not going to answer my question. But okay, let's move on to the next. So how did music, movement, and community help you through your difficult times? Because I know there were some difficult times.
Folks, my folks, like my family, my friends, my network, people around me, you know, we build together. And so it's always good. You know, it's always good to have good people. I'm blessed because I have the dopest friends in the world. And
That's
so
dope.
All my friends are the best at what they do. You know what I mean?
I love that.
Case in point here, I'm here to talk with y'all. So these are my friends. My name is Melkez, and I have the dopest friends.
I love that. That's good. But that's key. That's key because a lot of people don't have that outside support.
Oh, yeah.
Community is very key when it comes to your mental health. Having a safe space and people you can confide in and trust is very key to somebody's mental health, because if you don't have that, then, you know, you're suffering in silence.
Yeah, see, and I'm the last of 5 children. So I had a lot of people in the house all the time. And my brothers used to bring in strays all the time. And my parents are like, they would accept anybody in. So I used to have all other my extended brothers are super big, bigger than my main family.
That's dope.
And so I still kick it with them and check in on them every now and then to see how they're doing, you know. But yeah.
But do you have people checking on you?
Not as much. I'm that guy that if I died, probably it would be a while before someone found my body.
Do you truly believe that?
I do. I think they'd think I'm gone. They'd be like, "Oh, Kez is away."
We got to change that.
I know, but
we got to change
people
that.
do now because I said that to them in a joke, and they were like, "Yo, you good?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm good. I ain't seen you in a minute." Oh, bro, I was in Seattle, you know, or I was somewhere else, or like when we went on that trip to Honduras and everything, and we were on the boat, you know. So they were like, "Yo, where you at?" But yeah, because that's only because I'm in the wind. I say there's a joke, but
let's not joke about that no more.
I hear you.
But let's change that for real. No, that's true.
It's a real thing though, because if you got somebody who's out and about, you don't even think to check on them,
right?
Because they're the ones that you will see,
yeah,
or they're the ones that will hit you up,
right?
You know what I mean? But that's a real thing though.
Yeah, but you got to be able to have it reciprocated too. You need that love and support also.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
Definitely. So, how has your prayer, if faith or spirituality helped you through your hard burdens?
Oh, God is good.
God is good.
Like just like that right there. Like I don't lean on a lot of folks at all. You know what I mean? So I'm the one that people will come to lean to, and I got them, right? And the only reason why I can get them is because when it's too much for me, I have to be able to give this up. And if I can't deal with it, I give it up to God, and God takes it from me, because that's real. Because I can't do it on my own at all, and that's 100%. So I will let folks know that, hey, I don't know how your relationship is, but I know how mine is, and I know what happens, and so I'm able to give it up and then be free through that. Because I couldn't be who I am. I'm a pretty open cat. But I know I will cut a cat off in a minute if they cross lines, cross boundaries. You know what I mean? And then I'm done with that person because it's not necessary for me to have these other influences in my life that aren't positive or aren't building or growing, right? So that's how we move, you know? Yeah. Because, it's either blessing or cursing. Right. People are either blessing you or cursing you. You know what I'm saying? They're either adding to you or taking away. And I don't allow certain words from folks. Like if they say, you always, that's a curse. Because I don't always anything. I might today, but not tomorrow. Yeah. If you say you have in the past, I can speak to that and say you're right, and either apologize or, yeah, I used to. You know what I mean? But the you always, you never, blah, 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 all those little mini curses, I just shut those down because words matter a lot.
They do.
Yeah.
They're
and
very
so
powerful.
You can speak life or death with the tongue, right? So I choose to speak life into folks as opposed to, take them down.
But that's mentally powerful too, because a lot of people don't get that. They don't get those, the strength to be able to determine blessings and curses. They just think some people, are along to ride the wave and they're just there hyping you up. But, really they're just in their mind wanting to drag you down. And you just have to be really aware of those types of things. And that takes time, and it's a skill that you have to learn how to do that.
Yeah, I guess so. Because I'm observant. I'm pretty observant cat. So I just watch and see how people move. But like I said, I'm a lucky individual because I got nothing but good people around me a lot, and so it's awesome. It's a good place to be.
It is. It definitely is. I'm building my circle right here, right now, and that's what I have, like good people around me. It's been amazing. It's been amazing. I'm not saying that the people who were around me in the past weren't good people. They just weren't good for me at the time.
And that's true.
Because
sometimes timing can be off. You can run into somebody and they might be a good individual person, but they're not good for you in that time. And that's where it goes back to those, are they blessing you or cursing you with the things they're saying?
Right.
Yeah, because sometimes people think, oh, I'm just trying to motivate you. I was like, okay, but watch your words. Yeah. Because your words matter. So if you're trying to motivate me by saying, I never do something, that's not motivating me. Yeah. If you say, hey, you should, I seen you do this, you probably should try that. Oh, cool. Thank you. Yeah. I take that, keep on running, because I do assimilate. If someone breaks me down and they say, hey, you're doing this backwards, I will be like, I'm taking your knowledge and applying it to mine.
I love that. Yeah, it's constructive criticism.
It will forever be a part of me now.
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely. So what does protecting your peace look like today?
Protecting my peace?
Yes.
It's just that, like setting those boundaries and seeing what is, observing, and then knowing sometimes it's time to roll out, Yeah. Be like, all right, I'll see y'all later.
I feel that. I feel that 100%. Like, you can cut people out of your life. Don't mean that you don't love them and care for them, but sometimes it's just like you got to move on. You got to protect what you got going on, and you're building something right now, and it's a blessing for you to be able to know that's what you want in your life.
Right. I got homies I love to death, but we can't ever be in the car together at the same time.
That's right.
We can't ever be. I'll meet you at your mama's house. I'll pull up. We can chill over there, but yeah.
I love that. But it's true. It is true.
It's true. I mean, you're my brother.
True.
I love you to death. But hey, no, this cannot happen. I can't have what you brought on you associated with me.
Right.
Because we don't move in that same fashion.
Yes.
So that's how that goes.
Energy is powerful.
Oh yeah.
Energy is powerful. So I'm gonna switch over and let's talk about men's mental health. Why do you think that many men struggle in silence with their mental health?
Because we're supposed to. That is how it is presented.
That's what society presents.
Yeah. So
do you believe that?
I don't know, man. I'm funny on that because I'm kind of old school on a lot of these things. Like some things, like I'm with, and the other things I'm like, all right, you got to suck that up. Only because you were taught that way. Men do certain things, and this is how they move, right? But it doesn't mean you can't speak. My thing is, speak how you feel and listen for the response back. Because if I said it, I said it. Now you know. If you choose to act however you're going to act after that, that's on you. And then I can be like, all right, cool. You're not the one I'm going to give this level of intimacy or whatever to, right? Because I'm not going to reciprocate it back, or you'll be the one to try to throw it back. You see what I mean? So you just listen and you pay attention. But the thing is, it's like if I said it, now I can be free from it. I'm no longer a subject. A lot of people act because of their feeling, they act out trying to avoid the feeling, but not actually saying what was really bothering them.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And there's freedom in just being able to say, hey, are you trying to offend me right now?
Right.
Like, well, I don't understand what that was. Were you trying to offend me in this moment? Or I'm giving you an opportunity to either correct yourself, reverse yourself, or tell me exactly what you're feeling. Because if that's the case, then it's like, all right, well, hey, look. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Then it comes out different. But yeah, that's kind of my thing. I'm pretty open. So I just tell you straight up, hey, I don't like that. Or I do like it.
So you don't suffer in silence?
Oh, hell no. Like anyone knows me knows. They're like, oh.
But a lot of men do.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's situationally. Like, I'm not married, but if I was married and my wife is having problems, I'm going to take care of my wife, right? If I'm having problems, you can tell your wife, right? You can tell whoever your significant other is to a point, because you don't want to have them worry.
Right.
Because then their worry is not what you want. So you're protecting them from their worry.
So do you believe in getting outside help, therapy, community? Like you said you have a lot of friends, brothers, all of that.
I call that the counsel. So
church.
every man needs a counsel.
Okay.
This is what I'll say. Every man needs a counsel, and you have different people in your counsel.
Okay.
So that you can hit up someone and say, hey, this situation is bugging me. What do you think about this?
Right.
And then let them get their response back. Because sometimes it will be a friend. Sometimes it'll be my friend's moms. I'll run something by them just to get a different perspective. And I'll go, oh, that's a good point.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
Okay. I like that. I like that.
So I do fully believe in the counsel model, because that allows you to make sure that you're not bugging out or you're tripping,
right.
And you get other ears on it, and then they can come back and give you some guidance on that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's important. So you're not suffering in silence, because a lot of people hold that stuff in and it comes out in other ways.
True.
Is what I'm saying. Like, and then
that's
a lot
real,
of
though.
people have mental health diagnosis, or they go undiagnosed, and then they start self-medicating and using other vices to numb the pain of their mental health that they don't get help with. Yeah,
no, you're right about that. There's a lot of that. Like, I worked in that field, at the group homes and whatnot, so I've seen a lot of that, and so that is very true. Yes. That is very true.
So what would you say to somebody right now who is so what would you say to men who were taught man up instead of opening up?
You could do both. In fact, manning up is opening up. Seeing that something's wrong and bothering you is the point where you're like, all right, you know what? I need to take care of this.
But this is the stigma. This is the stigma that society says, men don't show emotions. Men need to just man up. They need to suck it up. They just need to move on. And that's the stigma that's put on men, saying that they can't show emotions and they can't be vulnerable.
See, I don't like that word vulnerable. I don't even like that either. You can be you in any place you're in, and you can speak how you're feeling in any place you're in. But I guess I'm looking at it from a stance of, hey, I am me. I'm in this place right now. This I liked or I didn't, so I'm speaking directly to it.
Right.
And but I'm aware of myself.
Right.
And a lot of people are, if you're feeling as though you can't, like someone's going to look on you and look down on you, then that I'm not feeling. So it's hard for me to relate on that side. But I think manning up is kind of addressing whatever issue you have. Because if you don't, like you said, it come back in other ways.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. So why is it important for men to seek support, therapy, community? We kind of already hit on that.
Yeah. I think it's just good. If you got something going on, man, like something really is getting at you and you don't have an immediate circle, find somebody. Get somebody that you can talk to. Because it's important for men to have counsel. And I think that goes back to us, like the tribal side of us, there was elders, right. You could go to the elder and speak to the elder, I didn't have a bunch of my uncles around. A lot of my family's in Chicago. So we are out here on this side of the family, kind of dolo solos, just my immediate family.
Yeah.
So then when my Uncle Larry came, that was dope. Shout out Uncle Larry. And it was dope because I had outside family came, then I had all my cousins and whatnot. But we didn't grow up like playing together. I didn't get that experience growing up. But when I met all my other family in Chicago, it was like, it was like going home. It was a beautiful thing. So it was like good to see and be able to connect to that and have that as a resource to be able to speak to. Right. So that I do say that if you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. If you don't got family, go and speak to somebody. There's plenty of things you can do anonymously and don't have to tell anyone your business. You ain't got to tell nobody your business, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I would agree.
And it's okay to ask for help.
Yeah, it's okay. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
You don't have to suffer in silence.
No, you don't lose. You don't lose for asking for help.
Right. Yeah. That part. So what does true healing look like for men in today's world? What does true healing look for Melkez in today's world? Let's put it that way.
That's kind of big. Like, that's big. Like, I can't wrap up all men in a thing, but
Melkez. Let's put Melkez
for me,
world.
Healing. What is healing?
Yes.
Healing? Freedom. Yeah, it's freedom. It's being free.
That's it. That's it right there. Yeah. That's it. Freedom. It is. No, it does. It frees you.
It's freedom.
It frees you from all those chains.
If I beef with somebody, generally, like if somebody I care about and I cut them off, I'm going to forgive them for me.
Right.
But I ain't got to mess with them no more. You see what I mean? Like that's just the world. Like I'm kind of, when I'm done, I'm done. But I'm not going to harbor hate in my heart because that weakens me.
Right.
Yeah. So I can't allow that to affect me after the fact. I'll deal with it. And I have my own things I deal with, but I deal with it for a time and then I move on. Like, I think that's important. It's okay to feel however you need to feel, whether you're sad, happy, angry, feel that feeling to its extent, but don't let it consume you.
That part.
Yeah, I mean, because, people chasing happiness too is the other way around that. It's like, happiness is temporary, right? And so you go chasing that all the time and it's just like a drug or anything else, or you don't want to deal with anything unless it makes you feel a certain way. Right. Because you don't want to deal with the other side of it.
So what kind of coping tools do you use to heal?
Give me an example of coping tools.
A lot of people go to the gym. Some people do meditation. Some people skydive.
Dance is dope. When I can go out and groove a little bit, because like I'm a b-boy first, so I started as a b-boy, so I have no shame when I go to a spot, and if the beat's dope and it makes me start top rocking, I'm gonna start top rocking, and I'm in the zone, and people are looking at me like, oh, he's moving over there, and I'm like,
you said it's contagious.
Yeah, it is. Because there's a whole other study about that.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a whole other study about that. Because I think you can bring, and it's crazy because, growing up as a Christian, right? And I learn about different things and I go, because, the Bible touches on the spirituality of things, but then you also see the world and you see different aspects that it's not fully explained, but it's there. Mm-hmm. And so I think we can tap into certain things when we are together. Like when in the upper room, when they all came together and they had the fire above their heads, right? They in that circle.
Yeah.
And we call it chasing the ghost up in Seattle, you know. And so, but I call it like riding with the ghost, like the day where you get all green lights, you know. Everything is just perfectly in sync that day, and you feel it, and it's like, wow, this is dope. Everything that could go right goes right. Those days, all greens.
I love that. So if you're having a bad day and you really had some heavy stuff on your mind, if you go out and start dancing and breaking, it really clears your body, your mind?
All right, no, not all the time. If I have a heavy day, I just sometimes I sit with it. I'll just sit with it until I'm done with it, and I'm like, all right, I'm tired of dealing with this, and it's time to, you know, move this forward. But I generally will stay in the moment.
Right.
Like, you know, I've had breakups where I was like, you know what, man, this time I'm about to be sad for a minute.
Okay.
And I just allow myself to be sad instead of just running out and trying to fill it in and put in fill-ins and stand-ins. Right. I was like, I'm going to eat this one for a minute. I'm just going to chill. So let me look. All right, I'm going to wait a couple months.
You timed
it? Yeah, I did time it. I do time. I do use timings all the time. I'm like, how much time am I going to allot to this?
Oh, well. I love that. So why is bringing awareness to men's mental health important during Mental Health Awareness Month? Why is it so important for?
It's important because, you know, brothers need to know that, hey, you're not alone. There's a lot going on, and you're not alone. Like, speak on it. You know what I mean?
That's right.
It's now, I'm not saying like voice every opinion you have or feeling about things, but if you got something really troubling you, you definitely should get somebody to speak to about that, you know, and don't hold on to it. Because I worked in group homes and I worked with a lot of different kids and whatnot, and just some of the most horrible situations you could possibly think of in life, they had to deal with,
right?
You know, and I was blessed and fortunate not to have those kind of things, you know, but it's a burden that you can carry forward.
Right.
And until you kind of work through it, you know, you're going to hold on to that. And so, yeah, sometimes you need time, but then sometimes you just need to start that process, and that's enough to get the healing thing going.
That's right, because the body keeps the score, and what happens to you, the traumatic incidents that happened to you as your childhood, it comes out in different ways as an adult. So it's very important for you to get help.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
Absolutely. I'm going to switch gears to creative and community. So how has community work impacted your own healing journey?
Not to be as self-centered. It's almost the American way for us to be self-centered. We're taught that. We're taught to, you know, leave your house, get your own spot, do your own things, build your house, find a wife, get your house, right. Get your car. You know what I mean? Get all your own individual things. And a lot of that doesn't make sense. Like I was talking to my buddies the other day. I was like, who's got a rototiller? I shouldn't have to go buy a rototiller to do this. One of my homies might have one. Let me borrow your rototiller. I'm going to use it. If I break it, of course, I'll replace it. But it makes no sense for me to go buy one if you got one. And I'm like that with a lot of my stuff. I'm like, hey, I got this. If you need it, hit me up, you know, because it's here. Because I have a truck too, you know. I make them rent it semi, but not fully. So I think like community is important.
Very important.
Because you don't have to do it all on your own, but when you do build with others, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
It is a blessing.
Yeah.
It is a blessing. Building this right here is a blessing. Having you on the stage is a blessing. I love it. I love it. So what inspired projects like the Get Back and Lost B-Boy tapes? What inspired you to make those?
All right. So the Get Back, I was sitting down. It was 2020. I was sitting in my couch. I had bought this couch with my stock money, right? Looking at my TV with my stock money because I knew that it was good and time was good. And I was like, hey, it ain't always going to be good. So I need some visual reminders of when it was good. So I'm sitting there and I was complaining about something and I was in the AC. It was a hot day and I was like, shut up. Like, really, bro, you got everything you need right now. Like, what are you complaining about? And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing enough. And that's when I was like, all right, what can I do? And I started devising my plan. I figured it out, strategized, did the first one dolo solo, and then got people to help me and created the system. And then now it's like what we do now. We'll pull up. We got the beats going. We grill. We bag it up, and then we go pass it out to wherever the people are. We feed whoever's immediately there, and then we go pass it out to wherever we find folks. And that's the Get Back. Yeah, it's the Get Back, Give Back, actually.
The get back, give back.
The get back, give back. So the
Yes.
get back, give back is you speaking to, the homeless person, the person that's not doing well. They're getting the get back.
Right.
You're giving back because you're giving up of your time and you're volunteering it, but it's their get back.
Right.
Because, if I'm doing well and this place raised me, you know what I mean? You ain't doing so well. It's my responsibility to help you out.
Right.
And that's how I feel about that. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So when is the next get back?
The next get back is see, this is the thing. When I used to do it perfectly, it was once a month.
Okay.
But since I haven't been working lately, I fund all these myself still. So once I finish all the 501c3 things and I can actually take in donations, I'll do it back to monthly. But now we're doing it quarterly.
Okay.
So actually in the month of June, I haven't planned out the date, but we will be doing one on a Sunday. Coming soon. So look out for it. Get back on Facebook. Join the group.
Join the group. Yes, join the group. So what is the deeper purpose behind Melkez 100-day plan?
Oh, that's just getting everything in order. So I am one of those guys that loves all the research on anything tech, anything for the body, anything natural remedies, all that kind of thing. And so I'm really into that. And so I was like, I'd been working on this for over a decade and I had all these tabs. Then I found AI and I was like, are you serious? And I know people like my brothers, there's a big debate on this, right? Because this is going to take your job. So if you have a job that is dumb and tedious, you might want to start looking for a new job now. I think you got 3 years left. Real talk. You got 3 years before this whole thing looks like Judge Dredd or any of those movies we ever saw of these dystopian futures, right?
It's true.
But no, and it just helped me. All right, so I'd already had all the research done for most part, but it helped me like really just condense and get more info at one time. And it was just about what are we missing? What are our biggest deficiencies? And if we did take those in, how would you feel in the body and whatnot? So that's all that was my research on that and implementing it into an actual plan for myself.
Love that.
And so I'm still working on that now, but it's coming together. And so hopefully this month I'll have that done, sealed, and going. And I'll be telling you about it as we go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. So tell me about the Lost B-Boy tapes.
Lost B-Boy tapes is a concept of preserving history. So like I have a gang of footage that no one's ever seen but me because I was at the event and I filmed it. And I was like, how many other of my friends are like this? And then there's so many events where I was behind the camera and not in the camera. So it's like there's no proof I was there, but other people were filming. And I told my buddy as a joke, I was like, yo, what if I created a site where B-boys could send their tapes, we'll digitize them, and then tag them if they pop up in any other films. And that's kind of the whole thing of Lost B-Boy tapes. Like they send it, we'll digitize it, send them back their footage, and then they'll have space on the server. Okay. And then, we'll let other cats know that have signed up, hey, we saw you in this video. And so that's lostbboytapes.com.
I love that.
Yeah. So that's in the works now. But yeah, that's Lost B-Boy Tapes.
Yeah, keep the B-Boys alive.
Yeah. Well, it's history because like we've done so many things in so many different areas, and there's all this footage that might still be on high 8 tapes or DV or that one that looked like a VCR that was thick.
Yeah.
Those old school tapes.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, that's dope. Okay, so how do you stay balanced mentally, physically, and creatively?
I get stuff to do, like right now in Sacramento. Like it's a beautiful place to be. If you are an artist, whether you play an instrument, you could pull up and see the Lab Rats Sunday night at the Torch Club, right? You can get on stage and sing, rap, do your poetry. Tuesday nights, you got Jimmy and the Magic Tour Bus over at the Flamingo House with the same thing with a live band that you can express yourself and do that. Then go right across the street to the Golden Bear to their open mic. And they did change the Magic Tour Bus. It's now all original, right? So it's not like Sunday you could do whatever you want to do, but now it's all original. Jimmy Tour and at the Golden Bear as well. So they don't want covers. They want to hear you. And that's so awesome because you can go in there and see a guy doing country, see a guy doing rock, see a guy doing punk rock or some emo stuff. You know, like there's like you have ways to express yourself.
Nice.
So that's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Here, our dance scene isn't like it is in Seattle, LA, because Ian just came back this weekend from a spot out there, and that was pretty dope. But yeah, that we're working on building that part up. But yeah.
And you find balance in all of those things?
Oh yeah, my balance is I can express myself, go to work, get my money. Yeah, I mean, pay my bills, pay my taxes. You know, live in this space and be free to do that.
That's
like,
right.
Yeah.
The Sacramento, there's a lot of different places out there to be able to do those things.
Right. You know, and so it's a beautiful thing, and other people are catching on, and that's why we got more traffic and everything.
I love
that's
that.
Whack.
Okay, so what legacy do you hope to leave through your art, healing, and community work?
You know, that's deep because I'm a freestyle MC, so I'm always going off the top. Right. And I'll just rip it right there and then leave. But I just started putting out music, like old stuff that I did years ago. And so hopefully, you know, that carries through, you know, after I'm gone. And if, you know, the song is dope, I could be like Can or one of those other groups where your song blows up 20 years after you stop making music. You see what I mean? So there you go. As long as you do it, I guess it's going to be out there to be heard.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Because no one's going to ever, like, you could sit in a room all summer long and you couldn't listen to all the music that came out yesterday.
Right.
Like literally yesterday.
That's a lot.
One day you couldn't finish that music in a summer. So there's so much out there. You're only going to hear what you're exposed to. But if you dig like me, like I'm not a DJ, but I scratch a lot. So, and all my homies are DJs. So we dig for music and we look for different grooves and things so that you could share it. And then, you know, it amplifies that music.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So thank you so much for coming on
You're
the
welcome.
show. Do you have anything? Would you like to freestyle something a cappella?
You ain't got a beat for me? We got a beat anywhere? Can I rock? Yo.
I have to beat in later.
Okay. Boom 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 boom. My name is Melkez for show. Been around the globe with the straight rock roll. Ain't ever gonna stop doing what I doing, and you know, always repping this city that I love called Sacto. Let these people know where we go, how we gonna do, how we stay true to ourselves. I thought you knew. If you're not understanding or demanding the best, then you ain't gonna get none of us out here from the West. Cause when we do it fluid, grab the mic and bounce to it. Ain't ever gonna stop doing what we doing, and you knew it when you saw us. And if you don't, we gonna let you know, cause we true with ourselves like body, mind, and soul.
Hey, body, mind, and soul. I love that. That's right. Melkez for show.
For sure.
Yes. Where can people find you?
Y'all can hit me up on Instagram. I'm Melkez, and Facebook, TikTok. Actually, I'm starting to try to do the TikTok thing. So find me on TikTok, Melkez, and add me on there. And then, yeah, we'll talk some more.
I love that. I love that. Until next time, stay grounded, stay grateful, and check yourself, check your mental health.